Hello again, YouTube. So as promised, here's my more detailed review of the Brooks Brothers Peal and Company Brown Shell Cordovan Wingtip Blucher made by Crockett and Jones. So I did a quick unboxing earlier today, but I wanted to spend a little bit of time and do a formal review of this shoe, including some information about the last and the fitting, and then compare that against the very similar shoe that is done by Crockett and Jones for Ralph Lauren. So first, let's look at the Peal and Company shoe. So as I mentioned, this is a short wing blucher made by Crockett and Jones out of the brown Horween shell Cordovan that they like to use quite a bit for their Ralph Lauren and Brooks Brothers shoes. We have a double oak sole, dovetailed heel, some very nice details regarding the stitching, the welting, etc. We have a padded heel here, and then a leather insole, and you can see that the shoes are completely lined, including the tongue. And these are made on the 240 last, which you can see somewhere in these shoes. It says 240. There you go, right near the size. So as you can see, these are size 12D, and what they try to do, obviously Crockett and Jones is an English shoemaker, but what they try to do for their US market is they try to size in an equivalent fashion. So this is officially a size 12D US, theoretically about a 12 and a half, I should say 11 and a half UK, go the other direction. So this is made on the 240 last, and as you may be able to see, it's a fairly long last, and then it also does not curve in toward the big toe like some of the other ones do, and I'll just compare it right now against the 325 last, which this particular shoe is made on. I don't know if you can really make it out in the video, but you may have to take my word for it that the last itself curves more toward the big toe as opposed to the 240 last, which basically tapers in from both sides. And that, quite frankly, is the problem I have with them, because my foot does not work with the 240 last, which is a shame because it's a really nice shoe. So let me know if you have questions on that, and I guess I'll jump right into the comparison for the Ralph Lauren, or against the Ralph Lauren version, I should say. So first things first, these are made out of the same material, the brown shell Cordovan made by Horween in Chicago. They're both finished identically. They're very similar designs, so both of them are short wingtips, bluchers. They both have 5 eyelets, and then they also have basically the same perforation pattern around the entire shoe. Heel is treated identically. They're, quite frankly, both very nice shoes. So here's the Ralph Lauren version. The Ralph Lauren version has a split reverse welt as compared to the flat welt that are on the Brooks Brothers. But other than that, they are very similar shoes. This particular pair that I have of Ralph Lauren's is about 2.5 years old. And they see, plenty of wear, as you can tell. The brown leather, the brown shell Cordovan, has lightened up considerably on this particular pair. And I probably wear these once every 2 weeks or so. So in 2.5 years, you can do the math. That's probably 75 wearings or so. In all kinds of weather. I don't typically try to wear these in bad weather only, but I'm sure that they have seen, plenty of lousy weather. The other main difference, so we have the last, we have the welt, we also have different perforation patterns in the toe, different toe medallions. And this is actually very similar to one that Brooks Brothers does with Alden on their wingtip Balmorals. They call it the ram's horn or something like that. Versus this, which is a much more intricate pattern on the toe. So that, I guess, is the basics, the comparison, the review. Very, very nice shoe. And if it fit my foot, I would definitely be keeping it. But I tried both a size 11.5 and a size 12, and unfortunately, it just doesn't. It just doesn't work. So this particular, by the way, sizing comparison from the different lasts. This is a size 12D. This is a size 11.5. And the main thing that I found as a problem when I compared these 11.5s to the similar 240 last 11.5s, which is what this particular pair is, the tightness right across the ball of the foot. These were much tighter across the ball of the foot than the similar shoe in the 325 last was. So that is the problem I have with them, and I guess as a result, I can't do the 11.5 because it's too tight. I can't do the 12 because the ball of my foot is too far back in the shoe then, and it's uncomfortable on the arch. So I'm going to have to send these back. But for those of you who don't have a really wide foot, I mean, my foot's kind of on the edge between a 12D and a 12E, measured on the Brannock device for U.S. sizing. If you're a solid 12D or maybe even a little bit narrower and not wider, then this shoe should fit very well, and I highly recommend it. Last thing, pricing. These currently are priced at $749, I think, on the Brooks Brothers website, which is quite frankly a steal. These on the Ralph Lauren website are $1,000. Now, these used to be, let's see, I think 3 or 4 years ago, they were $795. Then they went to $850, and then they just jumped recently all the way up to $1,000. So these are a really good deal. If your foot fits into these, definitely recommend them. You do get the whole Brooks Brothers Peal and Company treatment, which is, the blue shoe bag, is you get the little Cordovan card, all that stuff. And these are a very high quality shoe and a nice deal for what you get. So hopefully this helps. If you have specific questions, let me know, but I think I ran through the more detailed review and the comparison. So hope you enjoy. Bye-bye.